Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our guest speaker today is Mr. Ashraf Moorad, who hails from KZN. Ashraf Moorad is a psycho-spiritual scientist and empowerment specialist. He has a variety of academic and other qualifications in the fields of science, psychology, applied spirituality, and counseling. He is a pioneer in the transdisciplinary field he calls the psycho-spiritual perspective, a pragmatic and scientific, universal spiritual approach to enhancing psychological well-being and wellness in support of true personal empowerment and community upliftment and enrichment. Ashraf has been serving the Muslim organizations and Muslim community of South Africa with his extensive experience and unique expertise for close to 20 years. He has been touring South Africa, sharing his insight and wisdom since the year 2000. He has shared his learnings nationwide, including in the following major centers: Durban, Pietermaritzburg, Johannesburg, Pretoria, Mafeking, Port Elizabeth, and Cape Town. Ashraf is a regular guest on Cape Town's Radio 786, Durban's Radio Al-Ansar, and Pretoria's Radio 1584. He has done numerous programs on Voice of the Cape Radio and on Channel Islam International Satellite Radio. He has been featured on Lotus FM, SAFM, and on Port Elizabeth's IFM radio. All in all, Ashraf has done more than a few dozen radio interviews. His Preaching What I Practice series was Radio 786's special Ramadan feature. Ashraf has been featured on SABC One's Spirit Sunday, DSTV's ITV, Top TV's Al Mizan, and Deen TV, as well as on Cape Town's CTV. Ashraf also addresses the Muslim community directly, speaking at mosques countrywide. He has addressed over 25,000 Muslims live at Friday Jummah prayer and other mosque lectures. Ashraf has presented over 30 inspiring and empowering Friday Jummah pre-khutbah lectures at many of the biggest mosques in Cape Town, Pretoria, and Durban, among them Gatesville, Quds Masjid, and Habibia Sufi, Craven P. Usami Masjid, District 6 Muir Street Mosque, Pretoria's Abu Bakr Siddiqui Mosque, and Durban's Sparks Road Muhammadiyah Masjid. He's got many CDs, one of which is available after the Jummah Salah. His topic today is a loving Imaan, solution to all problems and a satisfying life.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. I greet you, my brothers, and I believe there are sisters also on the masjid, that with a most beautiful greeting, a greeting that has been used by Musa alayhi salam, the personality known as Moses, the greeting that was used by Isa alayhi salam, the personality known as Jesus, and our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the greeting that he used, and they would say shalom or salam. So it is in that spirit that I greet you here today. Assalamu alaikum. There has been one message that has been shared with people from the beginning of time, and that message that has been shared by all the messengers and all the prophets of Allah is salam. Salam. Salam is more than a greeting, it is a state of being. And Islam is the completion, as Allah says in the glorious Quran, on this day have I completed my favor unto you and perfected your deen, that is deen Islam. Islam is not a religion, it is a deen. It is a way of being and living in the world. So, the message remains the same. Salam. In fact, I was wondering what quotation I would use to open up my presentation today, and I'm going to use the one that says, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. O mankind, they had come to you a direction from your Lord and a healing for the diseases in your hearts. O mankind, you and I. In fact, the Quran doesn't distinguish between mankind. It says mankind is but a single brotherhood. It refers to us as the children of Adam. The Quran doesn't make distinction between race, color, creed, religion, etc., etc. It just makes a distinction on humanity, those that are believers and those that are concealers of the truth. The only distinction that is made in the Quran among humanity is those who have Iman and those who do not have Iman. But the rest of the time, Quran says mankind is but a single brotherhood. And it says that humanity is the children of Adam. So it's speaking, oh mankind. It doesn't say, oh Muslims, it says, oh mankind. There had come to you a direction from your Lord and a healing for the disease in your hearts. And for those who believe, a guidance and a mercy. See, it speaks of our hearts. It speaks of salam, the message that has been shared, the state of being that is peace. When they asked the beloved Prophet ﷺ, they asked him, who is a mu'min, who is a true believer? He said, one from whom everybody else is safe. That is a true believer. See, one from whom everybody is safe. The Quran also says that it is not for us to change our conditions, it is for us to change what is in our hearts. And when we change what is in our hearts, then Allah will change our conditions. Elsewhere in the glorious Quran it is spoken of the importance of your heart and a clean heart, a heart that is pure. It says that on that day when you face your Creator, your wealth nor your children shall profit thee except your heart. See? So this is very important that we understand, because we greet one another with salam all the time. But are we really in a state of salam? Now, I am a psycho-spiritual scientist, I'm a therapist, I work with people in difficulty, hardship, stress and strain. And I have found that the solution to all problems is a state of salam. That every problem that a person has, whether it's financial problem, health problems, relationship problems, whatever the problem, drug addiction, is a state of salam. It's only because a person is not in a state of salam that they actually have the problems that they do. So the only solution to all problems is salam. And in fact, salam, peace, shalom, is the only problem is that we're not in a state of shalom. We're not in a state of salam. We're not in a state of peace. If you were in a state of peace, you would begin to see miracles happen in your life. See? So it is my privilege to share with you on the topic living Iman. Living Iman. Salam or Iman as the solution to all problems. Changing what is in your heart, changing your state, changing your level of security within you. Getting into a state of Iman. And the secret to a secure and satisfying life. See, the word Iman is in the Quran many times. And it's often coupled with another word. So it says, for those who have Iman and do righteous deeds, for them is forgiveness, for them is bliss, and for them is a return to the garden of paradise. So oftentimes, you'll always see Iman and righteous deeds, Amal, your righteous deeds. And how important both are. And it goes on to say that for those who do righteous deeds, but have no Iman, for them, it is like in the desert, they see an oasis, a mirage. They see something like there is, refreshment there. But when they get there, they find it is nothing but sand. So if we have righteous deeds, which a lot of us are into, but we have no Iman, then it is a mirage that you will be disillusioned. So Iman is something that is very important. It is, of course, the first of the pillars of Islam. The first pillar of Islam is Iman. So often we hear about Islam and everybody is talking about Islam. And in fact, some people are so into Islam that they might worship Islam, but they might forget about the worship of Allah, which is Iman. We have so much like channel Islam, but we don't have channel Iman. You see, we have radio Islam, but we don't have radio Iman. There is so much of focus on how one should behave and what one should do, but very little focus on the psycho-spiritual level of a person, the way of being of a person, Iman. The most important, the first of the pillars. In fact, in the glorious Quran, Surah Baqarah, it says this is a book in which there is great guidance for those who are aware of Allah. It goes on to say, for those who believe in the unseen first. Secondly, for those who establish regular salah. And thirdly, for those who give of what you have given them. So the order of things is first the belief in the unseen, second is regular prayer, and thirdly is to give to humanity and support humanity. But very little focus is given on Iman. And it so happens that my work working with people to assist them to go from hardship, difficulty, poverty, distress, all the diseases, drug addiction, everything, has found that the only solution to all these problems is a state of putting your faith and trust in Allah. In fact, the glorious Quran tells us, it says it's not for you to find a way out of your problems. When you have a problem, it's not for you to find a way out of your problem. It goes on to say that it is for Allah to prepare a way out for you. And Allah will provide for you from sources unknown and ways unexpected. For those who put their faith and trust in Allah, Allah will surely accomplish their purpose. See, if you put your faith and trust in Allah, you have Iman, He will surely accomplish your purpose. Now most of us, we say we believe in Allah, but we do not put our dependency in Allah. We put our dependency in ourselves. We think, well, if I can look after myself, I'm dependent on me. Or my boss, he pays my bills, I'm dependent on him. Or my husband, he pays everything, I'm dependent on him. So we depend on our businesses, we depend on ourselves, we depend on the things of this world, but we do not depend on Allah. So we say we believe. But this is what I began by saying, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. I seek refuge in Allah Almighty from Satan the accursed. The story goes back, if you read the glorious Quran, which most of us recite but very few read, that when Allah created mankind, He had breathed His spirit and ruh into mankind, humanity. This is in the glorious Quran. And He asked the rest of creation to bow in honor of that which He had created. All but one bowed. Shaitan, Iblis said, I will not accept this as the amazing, honorable being, the adorable being that it is. There's a whole chapter in the glorious Quran that is called the adoration. When I first came across that, I thought it was the adoration of Allah. It turns out it's the adoration of humanity. That Allah has created us in the best of molds. Best of molds. In the glorious Quran it is said that He has given the children of Adam gifts and favors He has given to no other creation. No other creation has got the gifts that we have. No other creation in the glorious Quran it is said that Allah has breathed His ruh, His spirit into us. No other creation did Allah raise in that level. Now many of us might be thinking, but Ashraf, I didn't do anything. I'm not even a good Muslim and all that. How can I be so raised? And I say to you, you're raised in status only because Allah has created you as a magnificent being. That He recognizes, not because of what you do or don't do. You and I are amazing beings, honorable beings. It is Shaitan who distracts us. There is no two powers. There is only one power, and that power is Allah. There is the tempter, there is the whisperer, there is the distractor, there is the one who will whisper thoughts into your hearts and minds that there is no Allah. Depend on yourself. Be very afraid. Use force and control to change the things you don't like. Get angry with one another. Push against what things are in your world. That is the whispering of Shaitan. He is the one who will lead you away from the power that is Allah first, the greatness that is Allah, our Rabb. That we give praise to, that He has given us life, that I am and you are, is only due to the praise that is given to Allah. That I am a sense of self, a person in my own right, existing with a body, with a mind. Allah has given me life. He has given me a body, He has given me a mind, He has given me understanding, He has given me free choice. Do you know human beings have free choice? Angels don't have free choice. These are the favors He has given humanity. Yet many of us, we do not understand because we are whispered to and we are led astray. We do not know the greatness of Allah. He's al-Wadud, always loving. When I say to people that Allah is unconditionally loving, they get affected, some of them. They lose salam. When you are bothered and affected and your heart is closed, you're not in a state of salam. You're in a state of affectedness. Anybody who is in a state of affectedness will close their hearts to Allah's love reaching them, will close their hearts to other people's love reaching them, will close their hearts to them giving love to other people. That respect and appreciation for humanity, that Allah has created us as Ashraful Makhluqat, the highest of creation. We will lose it. We will forget what we are. We will forget what Allah is. We will forget the gift that Allah has given us, life. So not only has Allah given us life, He has given us guidance. The glorious Quran is a healing and a mercy unto humanity. It didn't come here to threaten you and terrify you. A lot of times when we speak of Islam, people start trembling and feeling afraid and shame and all that sort of thing. And I tell you that that glorious book, Quran, has come as a healing and mercy unto mankind. It's come as a guidance. Allah has sent messengers to humanity, not because He wants to terrorize you, not because He wants your life to be uncomfortable and hard, not because He doesn't want you to experience joy, satisfaction and fulfillment. He sent it so that you may remember the greatness that is your Rabb, who has created us. That you have choices. I choose, that I know my choice. I choose to surrender myself to Allah. I choose to open up my heart. I choose. We don't know we got choices. When you love the whisperer whispers, you got no choice. Hit him, hurt him, fight him. That's good. What you're doing is right. The Quran says that hold fast to the rope Allah has given to humanity and do not divide among yourselves. There's only one party, it rejoices when humanity divides itself. And even when we divide ourselves as Muslims, when we fail to recognize the greatness that is Allah, that we fail to handle differences between one another with respect for one another, when we fail to recognize the greatness that is humanity, our status. We have status. Allah has given us status. We don't know that. We treat ourselves with great disrespect. We treat one another, our loved ones and humanity, with great disrespect. We are not aware that Allah has sent to us messenger after messenger, and we have the most excellent example in our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the greatest leader who ever lived and whoever will live. No human being ever made such a contribution to humanity that the beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has made. No human being has lived in the most excellent character that the beloved Prophet ﷺ has lived. Many of us, we pride ourselves on the sunnah. So much so that we make sometimes certain sunnah like fard and you want to hurt our brothers. Oh, but Ashraf, you don't have a beard. We can't let you speak in the mosque. My brother, that is a sunnah. That's not fard. Why do you make a sunnah first? Why do you decide and make differences between one another? Why do we have hatred to one another because we have different opinions? Even the four Imams differed on opinions, but they respected one another. The importance of respecting ourselves and one another is submission to Allah. That I might not like how I am, but I will not disrespect myself. The Prophet of Islam said, separate between the behavior and the person. The person never needs correction. The behavior might, the person never. So you have no right to judge yourself, you have no right to shame yourself. Even though your behaviors might be problematic. Even your brothers and sisters, you have no right to hurt them. You have no right to look down upon them. The Quran says, do not call one another by offensive nicknames. Do not slander one another. Do not gossip. Do not call one another unbelievers. We have no right to call one another unbelievers. All we have is the right to connect to Allah, to connect to our humanity, respect ourselves, one another, respect the life Allah has given us, respect the guidance that has come through the Quran, through the beloved Prophet, his most excellent Sunnah. And I was telling you about the Sunnah, that many of us practice the Sunnah from a doing level. We don't understand that the Sunnah has got to do with being. When the Prophet was using a miswak, he was being hygienic. When the Prophet was petting an orphan's head, he was being compassionate. When the Prophet lent an axe to somebody who didn't have money, he says, go cut your tree and give me my axe back after you buy your own. He was being self-respecting and generous. And so on and so forth. The Prophet of Islam was optimistic. Every sunnah of the Prophet was in a state of being, respectful to himself, his body, his mind, other people, life. It's not what you do, it's the beingness that it is. In Durban some years ago I gave a talk and some lady said to me, every big day, auspicious day, they go looking for orphans so they can pet the orphan's head because you can go into Jannah if you pet the orphan's head. You see? This is the thing when we don't understand that the sunnah of the beloved Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was in love. How did he transform the most backward nation on the face of the earth? It was through non-judgmental allowance and respect. He even said to the non-believers, to you your way and to me mine. There were so many people that supported the Prophet when his own family didn't, and he had a debt to them. His own uncle died a disbeliever, but he never shamed him. He didn't say, oh, you're a disbeliever, whatever you've done for me, I shame you. Mut'im gave him asylum after the Taif incident when nobody would accept him. Mut'im died a non-believer. But after the battle, he said, if Mut'im was here and asked me to free this prisoners, I would. So the Prophet of Islam respected non-Muslims. He even said, he acknowledged the contribution that they made to Islam and to humanity. The Prophet of Islam said to people kindly and lovingly, to you your way and to me mine. He didn't say your way is waste of time, nonsense, this. He respected that people make choices that were different from his, and he said, but bear witness, we are among those who bow in submission to Allah. Glorious Quran says how important it is that we bow and prostrate and draw closer to Allah. Many of us are living in a state of insecurity and terror. When we're bowing down in salah, we're not drawing closer. We're so affected, we're so bothered, we're just doing it because you have to do it. Quran says bow down and draw closer. Prayer transforms us. Prayer is the opportunity for us to release our fears, to release that Allah, you are available to me. You are my Rabb, you are my creator. You have created the heavens and the earth. Allah says in the glorious Quran that He has created the heavens and the earth for your dominion. But we are controlled by the heavens and the earth. We are so desperate to get into heaven. We're just trying to do things to get into heaven. We're so trying to get into survival. We're missing the point of living, which is to live in a state of shukr. That I am, thank you Allah for giving me life. That I may live in the fulfillment of my needs that you have made halal for me. Thank you Allah. We do not know what shukr is. There is so much of people focusing on outcomes. This must be changed. That's not right. This is not right. That's not right. We are missing the point of loving ourselves, our loved ones, humanity, making a positive difference, to appreciating every day that we have, and opening up our hearts to one another, opening our hearts to the love that is Allah. I want to share another quotation with you. It says, Allah has endeared you to faith. Allah has endeared you to faith and made it beautiful in your hearts, and has made detestable to you disbelief, wickedness and defiance. Again, Allah has endeared you to faith. Allah has made you close to faith and made it beautiful in your hearts. Again, the word heart, salam. And made detestable to you disbelief, wickedness and defiance. That means the natural way is a way that is endeared to your faith. Fitra, the natural way, is the way that we human beings will naturally gravitate to. To love yourself, respect yourself and your loved ones and your community, that feels good within us. To prostrate and draw closer to Allah, that feels good within us. All these things feel good within us. To hurt ourselves, to shame one another, doesn't feel good to us. That is the way of defiance. That is the way of wickedness. When we take drugs and hurt ourselves or shame other people, it's an unnatural way. It's a completely unnatural way. When we have salam and we surrender and prostrate before our Creator, our hearts are open and we want to respect people. We want to be respected by people. We want to help humanity. We live in that consciousness. Allah has endeared to us faith. It is also said, not too far away from that verse, that Allah has put tranquility into the hearts of the believer. That when they have tranquility within, they will expand in faith. You can't act like a good person, brothers and sisters. You've got to be a loving, respectful human being to yourself, your loved ones, and humanity. Acting like you are is fooling yourself and nobody else. Quran says, Imaan and Amal, righteous deeds, are together and they will get you heaven. It is Shaitan, who is the enemy of God, that leads us astray, that convinces us that we can't see the folly of our ways. We can't see how unnatural we have become. We are following the way of fitna, not fitna. It's unnatural. It doesn't feel good to take drugs, but people do. It doesn't feel feel good to commit sins, but people do. How sick must we be in our hearts that unnatural things have make us feel good? How far away must we be from the connection to Allah, from the connection to ourselves, our brothers in humanity, and to see the guidance that is Islam, the way of being and living that is Islam. Iman is the surrender. Quran says, the Bedouin said, but we believe. And Quran responds, he says, you have submitted your will to Islam, but Iman has not entered your hearts. I am not here to preach to you. I am here to share with you what has made a difference in my life, what makes a difference in other people's lives as I travel. And that is the importance of the first pillar of Islam, to get right with that one first. Because we can be so misdirected in excitement, but I'm a good Muslim, I do all my farz, I'm better than other Muslims, that you might be misled from the Iman factor. Are you one who has Iman? See, Allah is oft forgiving, most merciful. I end with saying this, brothers, that we have available to us Allah, the ultimate resource. He is your creator. He has given you life, made needs halal for you. He will provide you and protect you if you open up. It's called taqwa. Taqwa, a lot of people believe, is fear. They believe that you must live in fear and terror. And I tell you with great love for you, there is no need to live in terror of Allah. Do not be terrified of Allah. Live in the recognition and awe of Allah. Praise Allah, and you can't from terror praise Allah. It doesn't work like that. It's only from recognizing the love, the compassion, the mercy, the support that Allah gives us oxygen in this moment to breathe. Thank you, Allah. Is gratitude. You can't be terrified and grateful at the same time. Security is the mark of Iman. You will carry yourself with great poise, balance, because you live in the trust of Allah and you trust in yourself. And as you do that, your life will begin to shift, because you are not depending on yourself anymore. You're not depending on the things of the created world. Allah alone gives us peace. Quran says it is only in the remembrance of Allah that the heart finds tranquility. Quran says remember Allah and He will remember you. Hadith says if you remember Allah, He will remember you. How important it is to focus on Iman and remembering Allah, and how misdirected we can be by focusing on Islam, which is a way of being and living of a person who has Iman. So with great humility I have shared this message with you, because it has made a difference in my own life, and it has made a difference to other people's life. That we now can find a way that we couldn't see before, that we couldn't see, and we can open up to that level of security. When you live in that level of security, you know that you have Iman. You won't get affected easily, you won't lose it, you won't become attached to the things of this world. The things of this world will serve you in satisfaction. They cannot serve you in security. This is why the more we look to the world, if I have enough money, if I have enough love, if my children just listen to me, if I didn't have these problems, I feel okay. No, you won't. The only time you will feel okay is if you make that connection of that ruh that Allah has breathed into you, feeling that power within you. You can then go into the world, and the things of this world can then serve you in a healthy satisfaction. That is halal for you. And that is a healthy, balanced life. So, thank you again for the organizers giving me this platform to share with you. And just to say that this evening, after Isha, I will be at Al-Asr in Georgia, speaking on this at great depth. And if people want to bring their families and children along, I will be teaching you on the power of supplication, how to connect with the spirit that is Allah within you, and from that power within you, how to invoke, make dua. It comes from the word da'a, and Allah says, say to the supplicant, I'm always near. I'm always near. Say to the supplicant, I'm closer to him than his own jugular veins. That tell the supplicant that every invocation that he asks, I will respond. So we are not aware that we're not aware. And we're not aware that Iman is the first and most important connection. And from that connection, we tap into Allah, the ultimate resource. I'm also doing a full day seminar tomorrow at Abu Bakr Siddiq Mosque from 9 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. There is a fee for that one. And for those who are interested, This particular, I've done about 5 CDs. This particular one is available outside the mosque after Jummah. Preaching what I practice, inspiring Muslims to live their Islamic learnings. Inspiring Muslims to live their Islamic learnings. And that is available at a reduced rate for the Muslims here today. Again, shukran, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Mr. Ashraf Moorad will be giving another lecture tonight after Isha at the Al-Asr School Masjid in Claudius. His topic is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the ultimate resource to empowering and uplifting the community. Azan there is at 8:30 p.m. and all are welcome to attend. Also, Mr. Ashraf will be having a workshop tomorrow at the Abu Bakr Siddiqui Masjid in Erasmia, and that's from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The cost is at a reduced price of 500 rands per person for the workshop. Lastly, a reminder, we at the Institute for Islamic Services will be having our awards day for our various daycare centers, madrasas and organizations who are making a difference in our community. It will be held this Sunday, the 8th of December at the World Lemon Foundation Center in Lodium, and it starts at 10:30 a.m. We urge all members of the community to attend, as it will encourage all the students in that the Muslim community is with them. Jazakallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن